Pretty good.
Okay, we'll go with that. Welcome back, everybody, to another special one part of two parts episode of Bros Park. I will be one of your hosts, Colin. As always, I am joined by...
Yours truly, Jeffrey. How's it going, guys? How's it going, guys? Like, as you can tell, we're looking fresh.
Of course, we are looking better today than we ever have on the pod because today, as I mentioned, is a special episode. Just last week, the voting ended for Crunchyroll's Anime Awards, and we have decided, there we go, we have decided that we will go over all the categories, see who's in which, and whether we have watched it or heard about it or otherwise, make our best bet as to who we think will win the category, as well as who we would have voted for had we
So just to preface this, like, no winners have been announced yet, right? It's just the voting.
The voting happened early April. It was done last week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now I figured it was the right time because the audience would have voted and they would have had the time to have their regrets saying, oh, I wish I voted this way or I wish I voted that way. Or maybe they can double back on their thinking and say, you know what? Like, actually, no, that's right.
Yeah.
You know? So I figured this was a good time to do it. And then we will revisit when the winners are announced, I believe, in May.
The problem with, like, this whole voting thing is, like, there's always, like, really good candidates.
Of course.
And then you're just like, shit, which one do I pick?
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
It's always a tough choice. But in the end, there will only be one for each category.
Yikes,
and
man.
it was left up to us and you guys, the viewers. So without further ado, there's 24 categories. We will be going through 12 in this episode.
Your vote doesn't matter. Democracy is a scam.
Okay, fucking chill. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right. You say that we're in the middle of a federal election right now. Like, okay, Jesus. All right. There's 12 categories that we'll be going through in this episode. And then later this week, please tune in and let us know what you thought of this episode, and we will have the other 12 categories coming up.
Yes, sir.
And before we get to it, let us know how you voted. Let us know if you regret or wanted to change your vote anyway, and let us know who you think will actually win each category down below.
You can't change your vote once
No.
it's in? Oh,
Yeah,
it's like you cast your ballot and
yeah,
it's in the abyss.
that's it. Yeah, you can't pull it out of the ballot
It's like,
box.
whoop. Why,
All
you can't
right.
do like multiple entries?
No. You can't just... Actually, I don't know. Maybe you could. I guess it's probably
like
an email address.
right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's easy to like fake it, right?
I think you're vibing out.
But then the thing is, like, if you like, cast multiple bids, damn, do you not have anything better to do with your time?
Well, I remember when I think it was Freerin or Oshiko was beating out FMA on my anime list.
Yeah, and then people just vote.
You just
they
spam vote them down.
Yeah, mass downvote or mass upvote.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
that
it's
FMA
like,
holds.
It's like, yo, chill, guys.
It's like, guys, like, you know, if people like this more than FMA, like, this is by vote, but like, okay, whatever, you know? All right, so just so you get an idea in your head, the 12 categories that we were going through this episode will be Anime of the Year, Film of the Year, Best Continuing Series, Best New Series, Best Original Anime, Best Animation, Best Character Design, Best Director, Best Background Art, Best Romance, Best Comedy, and Best Action.
Hey, those are some pretty good categories.
Some bigger banger categories. So let's start with the good old-fashioned big one. Anime of the Year.
Damn, really? Should we say that for last or just?
No, let's start strong. Let's get it out of the way. Let's
What
see.
are the candidates? Hit me up with the candidates.
So the candidates for Anime of the Year are Dan.
Oh, nice.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Okay.
Freerin Beyond Journey's End. Kaiju number 8. Solo Leveling. And finally, The Apothecary Diaries.
There's 6 of them?
Yes.
Damn,
yes, sir.
Man.
It's hard. I mean, a lot of those are bangers, and also a lot of those don't feel like they were last year.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, shut the fuck up.
What?
I think of Freerin, and I think that I watched that long ago.
Yeah.
It felt like an eternity ago.
Yeah.
right?
But
It's
one of those animes where it's like nostalgia.
Yeah. But even just watching it the first time, it feels nostalgic.
Yeah, it's like you're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're just going right into free run,
yeah.
isn't that kind of indicative of something? But
also,
I love Dan Dan Dan.
Yeah.
Like, it's wacky, zany animations, amazing. Soundtrack's really good too.
Yeah.
There's some like music opinions on it, but I think it was amazing. But I don't think it's anime of the year, man. I don't think so.
It's hard with anime of the year because it's so inclusive of the entire thing that you're judging. It's not just best art or best animation. It is everything.
I'm going with I'm knocking stuff off the list right now. Okay, that's how I'm working at it.
All right.
So Dan Dan Dan, I gotta pull it out.
Okay, you're saying Dan Dan Dan's out.
Unfortunately, out. What about you? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we obviously operate in spheres of, I talk to my friends about the things that they like, and they probably like similar things to me. That's why we're friends. And that's how we kind of like have conversations about these things. Like you and I, we both really like Dan Dan Dan. But
we even talked about it.
We talked about it. But then it comes down to, what is the general population? Like all these people voting.
Well, who cares about what everyone's voting for?
I know.
It's
okay. So, for me. Okay. That's true. We'll talk about for us first and then who we think will win it. I would probably keep Dan 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 on the list. I wouldn't knock it out in comparison to the other things.
You're knocking out?
Yeah. I'm keeping it for now.
Well, the only reason why I knocked out first is because it's more recent.
Okay.
But the next one I'm going to knock off is Solo Leveling.
Yeah, that is a hard one. I think if it's all encompassing, story, soundtrack, animation, all these things, I do think Solo Leveling has to be knocked off the list.
Yeah, just in terms of story. Hey man, this guy's just leveling up, man. Solo Leveling. Ooh.
I think if we get down to animation and it's on there, it might be up there for me. But we're talking about all encompassing.
Well, you don't like? I guess this guy likes seeing Jinwoo's ass.
Yeah.
This guy likes seeing his ass.
Firstly, the animator said that was supposed to be a spine line from his muscular, amazing wide back.
That was a spine line?
Yeah.
Why is it curved like an ass?
Just chill out. Why are you going frame by frame to look at his ass, huh?
Because it was posted up everywhere. It's like, why is it there?
Yeah, for sure. But I think when it comes to animation, I think it is one of the top tier ones that have come out this year. But all encompassing, I don't think it's up there. I don't think the story holds up.
So we agree Solo Leveling is out.
I think Solo Leveling is out.
Now
Now let's talk about a major one that I think surprised a lot of people when it came out. Delicious in Dungeon.
True. Yes. I watched it because it was weekly releases on Netflix.
Yep.
I think that really helped out instead of Netflix just dumping it all out.
I hate when
they do that.
I think when they dump it all out, it's nice because it's good for the binge watcher, but I do think the hype around the show, even live action shows, dies quicker.
Yep.
If it's not a weekly release.
Yeah, I hated them for what they did to JoJo, man.
Oh yeah.
Part 6, they dumped it. Yeah. I loved it, but I'm like, dude, the weekly one where you're anticipating what's gonna happen. Everyone's talking about it.
It's that slow burn. It's nice.
But Delicious in Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah, Dungeon Meshi.
It was good.
It was good. 100%.
I enjoyed it. Every episode was fun. Animation was good.
Yep.
Soundtrack was good. The thing is the whole plot of it.
Yeah.
It is rich.
Yep.
It is well thought out.
100%.
Story wise, what happens and everything.
The world building was good in it. It was very, very nice.
But in terms of anime of the year, I don't know, man.
I think as much as I liked the animation, and I think that in comparison to the other ones, it would be the opposite of Solo Leveling for me. Yeah. Where I think the animation could have been more. It was good. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but to the visual eye, it wasn't my style of animation. That was peak. But the story was phenomenal.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I had a good time watching it. It was nice. It was feel good. But again, in terms of all encompassing, I don't think it was there for me.
Yeah. I do like how like every episode they're always cooking, you know, delicious
Of
dungeon.
course.
And like the author who like created the story, they were so creative in how like
Yes.
the ingredients were utilized,
recipes
where it
and
looks
stuff.
like, you know, our food.
100%.
I really like that, but at the same time, I think about anime of the year, and I think like, would I rewatch that anime?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would rewatch Dan Dan Dan. I would rewatch Soul Leveling, but they're off the list.
Yeah.
Would I rewatch Delicious Dungeon? Not really.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's
Not really.
It's not there for me.
Yeah.
So I could see some people saying like, oh, it's a nice comfort show to have in the background.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I would sit there with my friends and gather around the TV to watch it again.
Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
in comparison to all the other candidates, it's kind of lacking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's off my list.
I agree with you. It's off my list.
Like, it's a good show. It's a good show. Watch it. But damn.
So next up, which is one that you've not fully finished, but you
Yeah.
kind of know how it goes, which is Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8.
I think
I've only watched half of it. It's great so far.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy it. It's like, it kind of has that like in the very beginning of My Hero Academia
okay.
vibes to
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like the school entrance, you know, exam, and
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
the
yeah.
guy's freaking hidden OP.
Yeah.
But you know what? I actually do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
The story's pretty fun.
I like the idea of, you know, the kind of hiding the identity, but still going for it because he, you know, is pressuring himself with the promise that
Yeah.
he made and everything.
Yeah, Colin's the one who recommended it to me, and we watched it. We watched like the first half together.
Yeah.
He rewatched it. It's my first experience. I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. I've
But-
watched the whole thing, and I think animation holds up. I think the animation's quite good.
Hell
a lot
yeah,
of those
dude.
fight scenes and those like impact frames, as well as the epic moments of, you know, Kaiju number 8 and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Great, phenomenal. I think story is cool because of, you know, trying to hide the identity and still going through with the entrance exams and trying to be an officer and everything like that. I do really enjoy that. I don't know if it would be top of my list. I think in comparison,
It
to
feels
the other
like the
ones.
story's been done.
Yes, yeah, feels like the story's been done.
Not to say that like it's not creative or like it's a good time. It's just you know, it's not like too original.
No, and I mean,
It's like a spin, but it's doing it well.
yeah,
It ain't no Sakamoto days, man.
You know what? Sakamoto Days is not on here. And, you know,
Wait, is it
maybe
20
next year.
I think Sakamoto is like this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be this year for next year, but we'll see. I really enjoyed Kaiju number 8, and it only gets better in the later half of the season. I think.
Oh, really? Good to know.
I think the animation and the choreography that they've done is a lot better.
Mhm.
I don't think the story doesn't develop into anything so much more intense than the like first half.
Really?
So I
Ooh.
think it
Hey,
is.
spoilers.
I'm not telling you what happens. I just don't think that the story holds up into the other ones, but I think it does hold its place in animation. I think the sound is good in it, the music, and I think the voice acting in it's good too.
Yeah.
Which we haven't really touched on the other ones, but yeah, I think it would be probably middle of the pack for me.
Okay.
I don't think it would be bottom, but it's definitely not top.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And
So off your list.
off my list for contender.
Off my list
for
too.
sure.
So our lists are kind of the same, except mine Dana is out.
Yeah. Yeah. And now one that I haven't watched too much of, but I know that you have.
I already know what you're talking
Yeah. The Apothecary Diaries.
Fucking love that show, man.
All right.
Fucking love that show.
So open up. What's up?
Okay, so it takes place in, you know, like the old Chinese
Mhm.
imperial palace period.
Mhm.
And how do I describe it? It's good.
Okay. Yeah, great.
It's-
That's a good description.
Animation is
I like
there,
that.
voice acting is there, the soundtrack. Ooh, the soundtrack.
Okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
openings
Yeah.
and endings are good too. We didn't even talk about opening and endings too.
That's true. We didn't talk about OPs and everything.
But overall, the story is super rich. It's kind of like a crime investigation
Okay.
story, but then there's a cute romance off the side.
Mhm.
Like usually, I don't really like cute romance and like, you know, those type of shows, but like it's done well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cute and shit.
That's very funny coming from somebody who loved Kobayashi Dragon Maid.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
But
It's,
yeah,
it's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy like every aspect of it. Like it's a show that I would rewatch.
Okay, so it has that value to you.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I guess the big contender is finally. Well, I guess let me ask you: is it off your list?
It's on my list.
It's on your list of top contenders.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's in the top. How many have we've eliminated?
That's 5.
Four.
That's
So
5
that-
total.
What?
Yeah, and now we have one more to talk about.
Oh, I thought we had another one.
No, 6 total, and the last one being Free Ren.
Oh shit.
We talked about Dan Dan Dan. We talked
Yep.
about Delicious in Dungeon. We talked about Kaiju.
Yeah.
We talked about
Solo
and
Apothecary.
Apothecary.
Ooh.
The last one is Free Ren.
Oh shit, easy.
Yeah, it's
And then Free Ren.
it's Free Ren. Well, like, I mean, if you haven't watched Free Ren at this point and you're an anime fan, I think the population is minuscule.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
good.
the modern day
It's-
FMA.
Yeah, it is.
It starts with F too.
Yeah.
F you.
Okay, yeah, we're picking things out of the air of like similarities.
F you guys.
I think if we break it down, animation is very, very classic. Like, it's your standard animation, and it's done phenomenally well.
But like the action scenes in Free Ren, even though it's not an action anime, it's like whoa. Like every single conflict, damn, chill.
It's
like they're like beating the animators, like work harder, work harder, work harder.
It's so visually pleasing, the fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's not even an action anime. And again, you can make the argument that like Dan Da Dan has a very specific animation type, and it's very interesting and cool to see.
Yeah.
But this is a very standard practice animation from Free Ren, and it looks very visually pleasing because of that.
It's like, how should I put it? It's like Dan 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 is like, wacky, off the cuff, different. But then Free Ren is more traditional classical, but it's traditional classical done 12 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like the next step up.
It's like done to the extreme where it's like, whoa, shit. It's like you're eating vanilla ice cream, but you're eating it with like vanilla bean.
Yeah.
Made by a French chef.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
got
like
it.
it.
Yeah.
Made by Gordon Ramsay.
We're moving to it.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, shit, guys. Damn.
And then not just the animation, like it's so story rich and the world building in it is so cool. And they do, I think, something that a lot of anime doesn't do very well, which is the passage of time.
Ooh,
I think they like have a hard time with that in other shows to do it properly, but Free Ren does it so seamlessly for everything that she's experiencing and her life as it goes about it.
And like whenever you see a flashback of her old party, you're like, shit, man. It feels like we haven't even like seen much of these guys, but it feels like you've been on an adventure with them already.
100%.
That's crazy how like the story can like do that to you. Like, oh shit, it's like back in the day, man. We're hitting up an adventure with the old party.
And that's what we opened with, where even watching the first time, it felt nostalgic.
Yeah.
Which was so like special.
Man, like how do you do that, man?
Yeah.
But the thing is like the author like created that like story wise, but then animation wise, how they were able to convey that to us, the watchers, we're like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
Like they did a great job. Like
I agree.
Like all across the board. Like I think it's like a 10.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean,
and I love like the opening and endings for each and every single one of them.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the second opening a lot.
Okay.
Like the song. The song is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just in the way we're talking about
voice acting
and
dude, for me, every time Himmel pops up,
flashback,
I'm like, this guy's
my guy, dude.
This guy's the GOAT, man. I want to be him.
Yeah. Himmel.
And a little side note, I think this happened in Japan.
Okay.
Where like there was an attack on the SkyTrain, the subway, or a train or something.
Okay, yeah.
Like some guy had like a knife and everything, and this otaku, they labeled him as otaku.
Yeah, in the article and stuff.
He stepped up and like disarmed the guy and like held him off before he could injure more people.
Because
that's what Himmel would do. That's what he told everyone. I'm like, yo, shit, man.
Dude, yeah, he making influences in the real world.
Exactly.
Again, I think you can tell just from the way that at least I'm talking about it. We'll get to Jeffrey in a second, but solo leveling not solo leveling. I was like, holy shit, what the hell? Okay, Freerin would be my vote. Like that would be my top contender for that. Yeah. I think in terms of everything overarching, Freerin did the best.
Yep.
I think you could, to me, make the argument, and I could understand where you're coming from if you said Dan, because I think that the story was so out there, the animation was so crazy, the music was good, the soundtrack, the story progression was so interesting. I think you can make the argument to me for Dan, and I'd be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. But Freerin still takes the cake for me.
Who's your favorite character in Freerin?
In Freerin?
Yeah.
That's hard. Himmel's good, but
Himmel's the GOAT. He's a top.
Am I remembering his name right? Stark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I cosplayed as Stark.
You did
like
cosplay
an anime
as
convention.
Stark,
That's how much I like it.
I probably like Stark the most as a character because it was just, you could relate as like a fucking young teenage guy that you're like, shit, like I don't know how strong I am, I don't know this, I don't know that, blah blah blah. Like I like Stark the most.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And what about you? What are your votes going?
My favorite character, Ubel.
Okay.
She's the crazy psychotic slashing girl.
Yeah.
She's crazy. I love it.
Okay. I meant, what is your vote going for anime of the year?
As much as I love Apothecary Diaries and Freerin, I'm going with Delicious Dungeon. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you are.
I'm just fucking kidding. It's got to be Freerin for me.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be Freerin. So my list, like in chronological order, it goes Freerin.
Okay.
Apothecary Diaries.
Okay.
I forgot the other. Wait, give me a second.
Okay.
Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Solo leveling.
Interesting. Okay.
Kaiju number 8. Even though I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
And then Delicious Dungeon. That's my list.
Interesting. I thought you would have put Delicious in Dungeon higher, to be honest. But
I watched it. Like I still remember it. Good time.
Just one and done.
I'm okay with not watching it anymore. I'll watch it if the new season comes out. But it's like,
okay, all right. I feel you. Well, now comes the question: who do you think will win?
Oh, Freerin.
You think Freerin will win?
Hell yeah, dude.
I think Apothecary Diaries will win.
Really?
I think
you haven't even watched the show, too.
I know, but I've seen so much online, and I think if I'm voting strategically here, my brain tells me that most people will say Freerin is the basic answer, and I don't want to be basic. So Apothecary Diaries is the way to go. And I think that's the way the voting will go. Again, I could be proven wrong.
I don't know about this one, man. It's like, it's literally like, how should I say this? We have a math question here.
Yeah.
We're in a math exam.
Yeah.
2x minus 2.
Okay. Sure.
Equals 0.
What the fuck are you
2x minus 2 equals 0.
Yeah.
The answer would be x equals 0. But this guy's thinking x equals 1.
2x
I don't even
minus
know.
2 equals 0.
I just made up.
X equals 1. I fucking know that. It doesn't equal 0, you idiot.
Anyways, x equals 1. That's my answer.
Oh,
that's
okay,
basic.
got it. Yeah.
He's gonna be like x equals 2. X equals 0.
No, I'm not.
This guy's overcomplicating it. It's gonna be Freerin. You're wrong.
Okay, if I say 2 equals 4, what would you put there? You would probably put plus. 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Oh yeah.
I'm just putting 2 times 2.
Oh, okay. That's a better analogy.
That's all I'm doing. And I think most people will try to be cool, and they will try to move to something that isn't so quote unquote basic. Even though I don't think Freerin is, but that's how your average person is like. No, Sword Art Online is stupid. I don't like that. Even though it was like one of the most popular anime like globally for a long time there. You know? People love to hate on that shit.
I don't know, man. Like there's not many haters of Freerin.
I'm not saying that they're haters. I just think that they will want to be hipsters. And I think out of the two of them, Apothecary Diaries is the hipster.
Even if Apothecary Diaries wins, I'm still happy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was definitely up there on your list.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
anyways, that is our take on anime of the year. So now we move on to the next category, which is one that I don't think that you and I have the most knowledge on. So we will kind of move through this one, which is film of the year. We didn't partake too much in any of the anime films.
I don't know,
this year.
dude. The best anime film that I've seen so far, Minecraft.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
The Minecraft movie. Top. Jack Black's voice acting is phenomenal.
Okay, the six.
Jack Blacku.
God damn it, dude. The 6 films are Haikyuu, The Dumpster Battle, Look Back, Mononoke the Movie, The Phantom in the Rain, My Hero Academia, You're Next, Spy Family, Code White, or The Colors Within. Have you heard or watched any of those?
I've wanted to watch Haikyuu, The Dumpster Battle, because I recently watched Haikyuu last year.
Yeah.
Shit's lit.
Also, this guy just watches any anime that has to do with any physical activity, and he's like, I want to do that. He watched Haikyuu, he was like, I want to be a volleyball player. He watched Hajime no Ippo, and he was like, I want to box. Everything.
Hell yeah, dude. It's like, hype as shit.
Okay, great.
Dude, that's how anime gets you into things.
Okay.
Remember how much can you lift?
Yeah.
How much
how heavy are the
dumbbells?
dumbbells you lift?
Dude, that got people working out, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only one you were kind of looking into was Haikyuu.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these films. I don't understand why you would name your movie Mononoke when there's Princess Mononoke. It's like, goddamn.
Sure.
Like, what are you trying to do? Right on the coattails of Studio Ghibli?
It's just a name, though. It's just like a.
It's just a name. Yeah, it's just a name.
Sure.
Yeah. What if I named my movie Inception?
Yeah, you could. There's movies with the same name come out all the time. It happens. All right. So I think for me, I would look at this list and state what fan base will be the ones to vote.
Yeah, I'm thinking strategically it's either going to be Haikyuu or My Hero Academia.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I think those fan bases are pretty sweaty when it comes to upping
but
their
the problem
shit.
is, what if one of these other films are the GOAT? It's oh shit. It's Your Name.
So
level, right?
So the one that I was going to say that I've actually heard of that aren't more mainstream ones.
Minecraft?
Shut the fuck up. Okay, it's The Colors Within.
Okay.
I've heard about The Colors Within. I didn't watch it, but I did hear that name prior to looking at this list. So I do think that if there was something that is more off the beaten path than the other mainstream ones, I would probably say it would be The Color Within just because I've heard of it. But again, I think that My Hero Academia fans are too sweaty not to vote for their thing. So I would probably go with My Hero Academia.
I would go Haikyuu.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've seen Haikyuu. It's good.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, I know there's a lot of My Hero Academia haters, too.
That's true. Yeah, fair enough. Those guys would go out to vote just to make sure My Hero Academia doesn't win.
Correcto.
I just think that there's too few of them in comparison to the stand.
True.
So that was anime film.
That was quick as fuck.
Of the year. Yeah, we spent fucking 10 years on anime of the year.
Well, it deserves to be talked about.
True. So now this is an interesting one. Best continuing series. So
what is a continuing series? I guess it's like season 2?
Not just season 2. It's a series that is the next season of something that was out. So for example,
Spice and Wolf.
That one would be. But to give you an idea, the nominees are Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War.
Oh, shit.
Demon Slayer, The Training Arc.
Oh.
My Hero Academia, Season 7. One Piece. Oshinoko, Season 2.
Okay.
And Spy Family, Season 2.
Oh.
Those are the 6 contenders. Now, I will preface this with saying Bleach has been one of our favorite. It was our favorite of the big 3 when we were younger.
I haven't watched any of the new
1,000-Year Blood War. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's animation's up there. Story-wise is Bleach still. So, I mean,
dude, I read the manga and I was just disappointed the whole entire, time this 1,000-year blood war was
Really?
happening. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just disappointed. I was like, dude, this sucks.
Okay. All
But
right, all right.
hopefully the anime, took some liberties and changed some things.
Okay. Like the Bount arc.
Bount arc was peak. Okay.
Shut
The Bount arc was peak.
Dude, I remember growing up and you're like, dude, this was the worst arc I've ever seen of any anime
Hey,
ever.
man, I love it when they introduce plushies.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, yeah, can't use Bankai? Nah, you can. Get shit on. And that was the whole point of the arc. He was like, okay, got it.
Yep. Ichigo gets his face caved in as per usual. I love it.
I mean, why not, right? So,
okay. So the series are Oshinoko,
Spy Family.
Spy Family, Demon Slayer,
Yep.
One Piece,
Yep.
My Hero Academia, and Bleach.
Yep.
Okay, I've never watched Oshinoko. I know season 1 was a banger, but the thing is, I don't really see many people talking about season 2.
I haven't seen. I feel like the hype came down as we were just talking about on like my anime list and stuff like that, where it was season 1 was beating FMA. And then they got voted down by the FMA fans. So season 1 was up there.
Yeah, and like what brought my attention to Oshinoko was the opening because it was so good.
Yeah, and I think the story was amazing because it talked about like the struggle that a lot of these kind of like idols, but like the groups and the people and the celebrities have to go through.
Have you watched it?
Season 1, yeah.
Oh shit! So is it good? Like you would recommend it?
I would recommend season 1 for sure. Okay.
But we're not talking about season 1.
No, we're talking about season 2, which is the hard part for me. I think that, like you said, like I haven't seen too much hype around season 2. I don't think it fell off of a cliff, but I do think that it kind of didn't meet the same standard that was set by season 1.
And it didn't fall into like a One Punch Man problem where like it was released like years later. It was released like, I don't know, a season or 2 seasons later.
Yeah.
Man, One Punch Man season 2 was awful. Freaking hated that shit.
Okay, sure. We're
anyways.
not yeah.
So
that's
like,
not on the list.
Yeah, so it didn't go through that problem where like in terms of relevancy, it died out. It's just maybe it just didn't hit the mark. So for me, it's off the list.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with you.
Next one would be Demon Slayer for me.
Yep.
Off the list. The Hashira training arc.
Yep.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I remember reading online everybody hating it because there was like not really story focused, but
sure.
You really went through all the side characters. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw the side characters, the what are the top Hashiras?
Yeah, the Hashiras.
You saw more of their personalities, and the ending for it was pretty lit. Where like they all got like transported into the Mugen Castle.
Yeah.
And you see Zenitsu like just walk in. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. It was hype. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't, but in terms of best continuing series,
it's whatever.
I don't think.
Well, the thing is, it's literally a training arc. It is actually like
it is actually just training arc. Yes. It is the training before the tournament arc. Like that's it.
They're literally working out and practicing sword play. Like,
which is cool.
Training.
I think it's great to show that, and I think it's interesting to have that. But I don't think that for a continuing series, especially off of the back of the other seasons of Demon Slayer and the movie and stuff like that, that like it's there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So for me, I would say that it's off the list.
Yeah. My next one would be My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since it first started, it's just been kind of like
dwindling
down in terms of just like, story
and
shit. Because I remember I read the manga for it and then I just stopped because I was like, this shit's getting ridiculous.
But I feel like that's the struggle with almost any of these anime, especially shonen and stuff, where you just fall into the trap of, well, it has to be bigger and badder and faster and stronger than the last one. And then you just fall into that. And it's hard to do a story around that. In live action, it's the same thing with Superman.
Yeah.
How do you fight Superman when he's invulnerable except to kryptonite? Like, so it becomes a problem.
He's also weak to magic, FYI.
Superman?
Yeah. Yeah, he's weak to magic. That's why Black Adam works well against him.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. I thought you were talking about like
magic tricks and
like,
shit.
Yeah, like Hogwarts magic.
Oh no.
What? Okay, but yes. I do think that this will go into another one of the contenders, but it's the same problem with Bleach. Like as a continuation series, it's hard because it was so good in the beginning, and then I think there was not a lack of ideas of what to do, but I think where they were going with it kind of started faltering in comparison to the beginning.
Yeah, when you talk about that, it reminds me the Arankar arc was basically the Soul Society arc.
Yep. Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah. And I think
but Spanish. But Espanol.
That's true. Espanol.
El Tigre.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh my god.
Los Noches.
Los Noches.
The night.
Yeah, it is so good, dude. I saw that. I was like, ooh, so weird. And the music all of a sudden just turned very, very like
Espanol. It was like, hey, I fuck with this though.
It was hype.
A little guitar.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that the 1,000-Year Blood War, it opened up some interesting things between, the Quincy's and the Soul Reapers and the different kind of factions.
Yep.
But I don't think it was, oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it was good. I think the animation was there and everything. I think it was just a story that I was like, I feel like we've almost seen this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How many times can you fight Big Bad? Right?
Yeah. Well, you gotta fight the big bad in like shonen. So
I know. I guess I even think that like Dragon Ball falls into the same category sometimes. Where
True.
It's like, oh, big bad, great. Like
but Dragon Ball, it's just it's pleasing to the
I haven't watched Daima. Is that the new one?
Oh, where they're kids basically.
No. Yeah, I haven't watched it at all. But anyways, I don't think that for that reason, My Hero Academia and Bleach are off my list.
My Hero Academia is off my list, but Bleach is on my list.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
We'll move on. There's Spy X Family.
There's Spy X Family, and there is the big one, which is One Piece.
Spy X Family, compared to all the other shows, kind of falls in comparison, so it's already off my list.
Interesting. Okay.
I like Spy X Family.
Mm-hmm.
I love it a lot, but compared to all the the big shonen ones, it's not gonna compete.
Okay.
Yeah. It's already off. Your thoughts?
I liked Spy X Family. I think it was good. I think as a continuation as well, that it held up pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't think that it kind of fell too far behind. It had obviously the same concept as season 1. Like it was still all there to hit the notes that I needed in terms of if the category is a best continuation, right? Like as we were talking about with Dan, like season 2 could come out and be shit.
Yeah.
And like fail the series. But I don't think that was the case for Spy Family.
No, Spy Family, like it just did well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of it's competing against One Piece. I don't know, man.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's if we're talking about One Piece, right? Like right now I'm just thinking about it by itself.
Oh, by itself?
Right. Like we thought about Demon Slayer by itself.
Yeah.
In comparison to the rest of Demon Slayer, it just wasn't there. It was
by itself,
right?
okay, like, fine. By itself, it's on my list.
It was good as a
by
continuation.
itself. It's on my list because like it did everything like pretty much well. Yeah,
it was good.
Story was new, different. Like the freaking underground tennis league. Like holy shit, who thinks of that? And then, like the cruise ship battle arc. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would actually, you know what? As you kind of like changed my mind.
Yeah.
As a continuation, it's gonna be on my list.
Yeah. I think it would be on the list for me. But then it comes the big one, which is One Piece. And One Piece is hard because we have to remove yet somehow hold the over 1,000 episodes that are coming before it.
Yeah. Oh, the good thing is I've never seen One Piece before.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched until Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I can't watch any more of this. This is too much.
It's hard, and I feel like One Piece fans and like the true stans don't understand how people can say I can't sit through 1,000+ episodes.
Like even if you watch on 2 times speed. Like, dude, that's like weeks, months, and shit, dude.
They don't understand it because they're like, it's so good. It's like, yeah, but like, if it's so hard for you to get into, then it's so hard for you to like kind of develop a new fan base in that way, right? I think that it's good, and I think the new animation in comparison to obviously like where it started, like 90s.
Yeah,
and shit.
I've seen clips of like the recent fights. They look freaking good.
Yeah, they look hype and they look sick, and I think like the concept is cool. I like love all that. Obviously, I'm sure that anybody that's watched anime or knows of any anime knows One Piece to a certain degree, at least what it's about. Maybe not watch the whole thing, so we won't get too far into that. But I think it's all there. I just, man, there's a part of me that I just don't think that it should win Best Continuing Series.
Yep.
When it's been continuing for 30 years.
I agree. It's off my list.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like, the thing is, no one wants to see One Piece win. So
I see,
they want something different.
That's the problem, is I think that people do want to see One Piece win. Because I think they see him and the story creator, and they see Luffy, and they see all that, and they're like, man, I want them to be around for my life. Like it's the Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, I want them to be a part of my life for the rest of my life. And like and it's the same thing when the Dragon Ball creator passed away. Everybody was obviously singing his praises and like saying like, oh, I took inspiration from him, and like he was the OG, like the GOAT, like everything like that, right? And I think that after him comes One Piece. Like, I think One Piece is that for all of these people.
True.
And I think they want to see it.
Knock on wood somewhere. I don't think the One Piece creator is going to pass away anytime soon.
No, I don't think so either. But I think because of that, he's going to make 1,000 more episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, for you, One Piece is on your list?
I think One Piece is on my list. But I think that if I'm being honest as to where my vote would be, I think Spy Family.
Really?
Yeah. I think I would like Spy Family to win.
Yeah, okay. I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. What about you?
For me, Bleach.
Okay, you would vote Bleach. Okay, interesting.
The reason why is because Bleach was done for so long, for so many years.
Yeah,
and then
I don't know how long.
And then for some reason, all of a sudden, hey, let's continue the anime. Yeah. And there was so much hype to it. So I think with that and it reawakened all these Bleach fans, I think it's going to win.
Yes. But now we're talking about two different things. Where would your vote go and who do you think would win? Because my vote would go Spy Family. But I agree with you. I think Bleach or One Piece will win.
My vote would probably, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've heard, Bleach. I go with Bleach. The animation's good.
And you think Bleach will win?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think Bleach will win for the same reasons you just said.
Hell yeah,
which is it was gone for so long.
Yeah, think about One Piece. Hey, anime stopped 5 years later.
Yeah.
Anime's back. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Okay. And I think that because there's so many people out there like us that was just waiting for it to be
Hell yeah,
and,
dude.
start up again. That was all right. I do agree.
Yeah, with you. If I were to watch the new season, I'd be hate watching it because I fucking hate this story, but it's so good.
But you gotta do it. All right, we got 9 more still. Okay.
Shit.
All right, so now this is another. Are these actually the nominees for this section? It is. Okay. This one will be faster to breeze through a little bit because we've gone over every single one of these nominees before. The category, and I'll try to do this in an announcer way. In the year 2024, we've had many brilliant new animes come out, and we have some revolutionary and groundbreaking nominees in this category. So please give it up for your 6 nominees of Best New Series.
Best New Series. Oh.
Dan Da Dan.
Yeah.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yep.
Free Rim Beyond Journey's End. Kaiju number 8.
Yep.
Solo Leveling.
Apothecary Diaries.
And the Apothecary Diaries.
All right, Free Rim wins.
You think it's Free Rim? Woo. I think Best New Series. I think it's Dan Dan. Really? I would vote Dan Dan for Best New Series. We're not talking about overarching anime and everything like that. I think that Dan Dan is doing something new that is even more new and different than what Free Rim is doing.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute compared to Free Rim.
But what would you vote for, and what do you think will win?
I'd vote for Free Rim.
And you think Free Rim will win?
Hell yeah, dude.
I would vote Dan Dan, And I would agree with you that probably Frieren will win. Yeah. Like fuck. Like, dude, come on. But yeah.
But Apothecary Diaries would be a close second.
Oh, over Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
That's how much I like it.
Okay.
Biases. Hey, it's my vote. I don't care if I'm biased.
Of course, yeah. Okay, so now we have an interesting category that I don't know if you've watched too many of these, but the new category is Best Original Anime. And I do believe that that is defined by storylines and anime that is not adapted from source material. So it is
it's
not
like,
from manga, not from light novels.
It's like Code Geass. It wasn't made from like a manga or anything. It was
yeah,
like
it was no adaptation.
Yeah.
So, which I think is an interesting category because most of the big ones we see are like obviously hype manga or manhwa.
Yeah, they're straight from a already told story.
Yeah, and so
hit me up with this.
Okay, so first we have Buchigiri from Mappa, Studio Mappa.
The hell is that?
Okay, great. Off to a good start. Girls Band Cry from Toei Animation.
Okay, I heard that's good.
Yeah. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night.
I heard that's good too.
I've heard that's very good. Metallic Rouge.
Okay.
Ninja Kamui.
I heard about that. I heard it like kind of shot the bed.
Oh, really? Okay, I haven't heard about Ninja
in terms
Kamui.
of animation. It started off really great and then it became CG.
Oh, interesting.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And then the last one is Train to the End of the World.
Yo, man, I don't know any of these. Hit me with that Blend S, man.
With the Blend, dude, Blend S was good back in the. Anyways, yeah. These are what I would call less mainstream usually because again, they're not adaptations.
They're not established or anything.
Yeah, so they don't have a fan base coming into it. I think that for me, from the ones that I've very briefly seen, because I haven't watched any of them all the way through, but I've seen some of them from bits and pieces. I really like Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night or Train to the End of the World.
Damn. Yeah, I was going to take a stab because I don't know anything about this. I was going to just go with the Jellyfish one.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about like the entirety of it. I've only watched a little bit, but from what I've seen, I enjoy it quite a bit. And again, that might be biased because I haven't seen too much of the other ones either. But I do think that it is good. I've also seen the most conversation around Jellyfish online versus the other ones.
Yeah.
So I would probably put that at the top of my list based on my limited knowledge for it.
Yep, Jellyfish.
No.
Jellyfish is going to win, by the way.
Okay, yeah, great. All right, next up. This is another big one. This is actually one that we've kind of touched on in terms of a category we would get to. But we've had revolutionary advances in animation in the last year.
Oh.
And these 6 nominees are none but the best to showcase that. First.
There's a spider over there. Look at that.
Oh, there is a spider.
Do you see that on the door?
Yeah, it's just hanging on the door.
So is that a spider or is that someone... Oh, God, dude, it's moving.
Yeah, it's a spider. I saw you looking over there. I was like, is something fucking up? But, like, no, it's just a spider.
Oh, God, that's creepy.
Yeah.
It's like hanging from a web.
Yeah.
And just...
Yeah,
anyways.
it's going up and down the way. Yeah, but we can't stop the podcast for that. All right. So now we've got the category of Best Animation.
Ooh, like animation style. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. What do you think the nominees are?
I think Dan and Dan's going to be on there.
Okay. What else? Give me like 6. All right. What do you think the nominees are?
Frieren.
Okay.
Solo Leveling.
Okay.
Animation. New animation, huh? It's going to be in...
Best animation.
Best animation.
Yes, best animation of anything that's come out of the last year.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Okay.
What were the other ones?
You're 4 for 4 right now.
Apothecary Diaries.
Apothecary Diaries is not on here.
Nani?
For best animation.
Shit.
But 2 that we have talked about are on here.
The Jellyfish one?
No. Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Hashira Training Arc.
And the Kaiju?
Yeah. Those are your 6. So we have Dan Dan Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer, Frieren, Kaiju number 8, and Solo Leveling.
Purely on animation, I think Dan Dan's gonna win.
Purely on animation, I think Solo Leveling will win.
Buh.
Yeah, 100%.
Shit.
I think that people were too hype on Solo Leveling Oro Farming and how fucking sick the choreography and the fight scenes were.
Yeah, but anything outside of it is just like, oh.
Yeah, it's just standard animation.
Oh, Jinwoo. Oh. what the Sigma?
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's enough to carry it. I think that's enough to carry Solo Leveling to the top of the category.
I think Dan and Dan's going to win this one.
Okay, is that where you would vote as well?
Yeah, I'm voting that one.
God, you're such a fucking normie, voting for what you think will win all the time.
Yeah, no,
Just
and I believe Dan and Dan will win.
Okay, no, I think Solo Leveling will win that. I think that Dan 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 would be a close second. Or honestly, I think not Kaiju, sorry. Demon Slayer.
Really?
I think Demon Slayer is up there because people love the breathing technique animations.
Yeah, but
They
you didn't get to see much
that.
of it in this arc.
Sure, yeah, but they'll hold on to those fucking 5 minutes that they saw in the entire season of it. They will hold on to that and be like, you know what? That is peak. That's the best animation I've ever seen in my life.
I want to see more of this stone breathing technique, but you don't really see an aesthetic with it. It's just him throwing like a mace around.
Yeah.
But
it is, it's slow in comparison to other breathing techniques, but I think people love it too much.
Okay.
I don't disagree that it's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
What's the studio? Ufotable.
Yeah, Ufotable.
Yeah. Dude, they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
But Dan and Dan's going to win this one.
Yeah, I think Solo Leveling, but
all
right. So now this is an interesting one because it's something that we don't necessarily think about too much. But this is a category that celebrates artists that have created iconic anime characters.
Ooh, best anime characters?
Best character design.
Nice.
So, we have Dan Dan Dan. We have Delicious in Dungeon. We have Demon Slayer Hashira.
Does it go with the characters or just the animes?
Well, best character design. So, like, overarching, like, all the characters that are in it, like, that have created, like, life in these characters and given them, like, basically, like, an iconic purpose and iconic, like, character.
Is Soul Leveling on this?
No.
Okay, good.
No. No.
If Jinwoo was on there, I'd be like, what the fuck, really?
Dan Dan Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer Hashira, Frieren, Kaiju, and Apothecary Diaries.
Okay, I'm just going to go off of the... We don't need to go through the, what's getting off my list. Top two.
Okay.
Number 2, Dan Dan Dan.
Okay.
Just because the characters are, like, so relatable. At the same time, they interact so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even all those minor supporting characters, they're really fun.
Yeah.
First, Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah.
Jinchi-sama.
Yeah, I've heard Apothecary Diaries is, like, phenomenal for that.
Like, every character is so good.
I haven't seen too much of it, so obviously, like, I'm a bit biased not towards it, I guess, because I haven't seen it. But I have heard really good things. I will say that I think Apothecary Diaries will win, but because I haven't watched it, I think that my vote would go to Frieren.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, but the thing is, like, with Frieren, like, the characters are, you've seen them.
You have seen them, but I don't think you've seen Frieren before.
No.
Like, that's the one character that stands out to me that I'm like, oh, man, like, that is such an interesting character because it, like, leads to so much about, like, being a bit void of emotion because people are going to die and, like, all these things, right?
I get that.
So I do think it's interesting in that way.
Yeah, you really see a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
With, like, the age-old sage that has lived through millennia, but then it's just a kawaii elf girl.
Yeah.
But Apothecary Diaries is going to take it.
If it was the most fun characters, what would you vote for?
Most fun?
Yes. Like, funny, entertaining characters.
I'd still go for Apothecary Diaries.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think if you ask me that question, I might put Kaiju number 8.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Because they bounce off each other.
Yeah.
And they're comedic and everything.
I think that there's a lot of, like, interesting banter that they have in Dan 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 and Kaiju number 8. And I think it's just a lot of fun to see. Yeah. That would be where my vote would win if it was about, like, hey, what's the most entertaining?
I don't know. Apothecary Diaries has those moments too where, like, something funny happens between the characters. You're like, ooh.
That's
like, oh shit.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm just an AD stan.
Yes, true.
So my vote's there.
Okay. So now this in live action is usually paired with Best Picture. Now, I'm not sure about historically with the Anime Awards, but this one will be the Best Director.
Ooh.
So I don't know if it'll be paired with Anime of the Year, but like I said, in live action, it's usually paired. Best Picture is with Best Director. So with that, I apologize as I butcher these names. We have Dan 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 director Fuga Yamashiro. We have Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Hashira arc with Haro Sotozaki. We have Free Ren with Keiichiro Saito.
God damn it.
We have One Piece Fan Letter with Megami Ishitani.
The hell is that?
Okay. We have Apothecary Diaries with Norihiro Naganuma. And we have Delicious in Dungeon with Yoshihiro Miyajima.
Purely on director, because I guess they're like storyboarding and, you know, seeing how the scenes play out.
Yeah. And like also like, yeah, it's hard with the director because they kind of like have a piece of everything.
Yeah, and you don't need to go for Anime of the Year here. For me, the top three would be Frieren.
Yep.
Apothecary Diaries and Dadadan.
Yeah.
I don't really know One Piece, Moulin Rouge or something.
What? What the fuck? What? Okay. I do find it interesting though that this is the first time we've seen One Piece a fan letter. This is the first category they've been on.
True.
So it is interesting that they like did well enough.
So it must have been that good for it to be on, like, for the director to be
nominated for this with like not being in anything else.
Yeah, it could have been Soul Leveling, right?
But it's not. So that does lead me to believe that that is good. But if I'm basing it off the instincts that I have with like the live action, which is like it being paired with it, I would say Free Ren, right?
The director, Free Ren.
Right. That would be my bet if I had to guess on this. And then I guess second would be Apothecary Diaries. Because I like, again, it's one of those kind of overarching things.
Yeah. I think top two would be Free Ren and Apothecary Diaries. But Dan and Dan is like a dark horse for that for me.
Yeah, fair. I think my dark horse would be the One Piece thing, just because I'm not 100% sure on it.
My vote would be Dan and Dan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a bit of diversity there. All right. So that was Best Director. Now, we have Best Background Art.
Ooh.
And a lot of these we've seen, obviously, with one new one.
It's basically all the Anime of the Years.
Dan Dan Dan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer Training Arc, Free Ren, Apothecary Diaries, and a new one to our list called Pluto.
Oh, okay. I've heard good things about Pluto, but haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Again, it gives me the same idea that like it wasn't nominated for anything else so far.
Yeah.
And it was thrown into this one. So obviously it has to like beat out, quote unquote, a lot of the other contenders that are have been on the list, right?
Unfortunately for this one, it's the same thing for me. It's either Free Ren or Apothecary Diaries.
For the background art, like what's going on behind the scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because for Free Ren, it's more like, you know, countryside, but like everything's like so well animated and it just looks nice.
It's very picturesque.
But I do think for me, Apothecary Diaries will win.
Okay.
Because it really captures that like whole old-fashioned Chinese
like
aesthetic.
Feudal China type vibe.
Yeah, like there's like the Pleasure District, the Imperial Palace. Like it just fits everything.
Okay.
Like inside the buildings too. So Apothecary Diaries for me.
Okay. I think this is an interesting take, but I actually think Delicious in Dungeon.
Ooh.
For background art.
Really?
I think that in a lot of the scenes and a lot of the episodes, like the background of what's going on in the dungeon and like the different things going on in the background of the, you know, the safe zone where they have their kind of merchants and stuff like that.
True. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. And I don't think that they did too much with it, but not doing too much isn't a bad thing. I think it could
Less
still
is
do
more.
Yeah. I think it could still do well. And if it wasn't Delicious in Dungeon, my number 2 would be Dan Dan Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And let me again preface this with neither one of us have seen Pluto, so that one's a harder judge.
Hey,
for
Pluto's
us.
off the list.
But you know what? If they fucking take it, like, good on them. That's fucking sick. So that was best background art. We got 3 more.
Oh.
And these ones are a little bit more interesting. Now, this is not a genre I find myself in very often. I don't know if you do, but, we'll see how it goes. The top 6 contenders and the 6 nominees for the best romance.
Best romance.
A Sign of Affection.
Okay.
Blue Box. Makin, Too Many Losing Heroines from A1 Pictures, which is the same one as Solo Leveling. Ranma Half by Mappa. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Oh, yeah. I remember there was a little animated.
And then The Dangers in My Heart Season 2.
Well, the unfortunate thing is I haven't seen any of these.
The only one I've heard of in that list was The Dangers in My Heart.
Oh.
I haven't heard of any of the other ones. So I feel like we're not that qualified to say this, and I will...
Sorry, can you go through the list? I'm going to take a stab.
Yeah, okay.
Just
by the name.
I know Ranma is like an old school anime that just came out again.
Do you want to hear the studios as well for each of them?
No.
Okay. A Sign of Affection.
Okay.
Blue Box.
Blue balls.
Makin, Too Many Losing Heroines. Ranma Half. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Or The Dangers in My Heart Season 2.
I'll go with Dangers in My Heart. Just going off the title, I was like, oh shit.
Also, they got 2 seasons. So
I gotta go with that. Unfortunately, I'm not too qualified in this segment.
I don't think that we're well versed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't actually know the last anime that I've watched that was like just romance.
Romance?
I think it's different when it's like, action with like a romantic interest or something like that, blah, blah. But like,
because romance is like slice of life comedy, right? I guess the last one I really saw was Ore Monogatari. Okay. That shit is so funny. Okay. I love that one. Do you know what that is?
I know what it is. I haven't watched it.
It's that freaking big ass guy in the blue uniform. Yeah. God damn, that guy's hilarious. Yeah. Golda.
Yeah, I haven't watched too many romance animes, honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. I'm watching a new one that came up, which is like I Fell in Love with an Okinawan Girl or something.
The hell?
Yeah, it's like a cute little one. I'm like, okay, cool. That one's interesting. It's also interesting just to learn the differences that like a lot of the traditions and a lot of the things that are being held by the Okinawan people rather than Japanese people.
Cool.
So it's a interesting little kind of like memos that they have. You know how like how heavy are the dumbbells you lift would like teach you how to lift weights?
Oh yeah, so little like side bits that like teach you things.
Yeah. And like in this one it's like, in Okinawa like we still do this and this and this. So like it teaches you like the little things like that. Like,
so next time when you visit Okinawa, you're like, ooh, I'll do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm a native now.
Sure. I don't think I'd ever say that, but yeah. All right. Now, this one is something that I think we both know, and this one will be a bit more interesting for us, which is the best comedy anime. First and foremost, Delicious in Dungeon. Next up, Konosuba, Season 3.
Oh, shit. That was in 2025?
Next up, Mashal, Magic and Muscles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc. So the second. My Dear Friend, Nokotan. Deer as in the animal deer.
Oh, yeah, that deer anime. Yeah.
Ranma Half and Spy Family Season 2. Best comedy.
Yeah. Well, these like comedy is subjective. So like MASH is like more deadpan humor.
Yeah. It's very like campy.
Yeah. Ranma, unfortunately, I haven't seen before, so I can't say on that. Spy Family is like more cute, awkward, like random interactions. Delicious Dungeon. Were there really many comedic? I guess this is a comedy in terms of like, they have different races. So like, it's like, they interact differently.
I think it was a lot of, the elf not wanting to eat the food and like the main guy wanting to
Yeah, I
Brain
wouldn't
Monster
call
and stuff.
Delicious Dungeon really like.
Interesting.
I don't
okay.
recall many funny aspects of it. Like even though it was like lighthearted, goofy,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that doesn't bounce off to me is like, ooh, comedy.
Yeah. Okay. Like you wouldn't think of it
Yeah,
first time.
that one's off my list.
Okay.
Konosuba is top for me.
Season 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything Konosuba is hilarious.
That's true. You do love Konosuba. I
Konosuba is
remember that.
hilarious. I love it.
Honestly, my vote would be Konosuba as well.
Yeah.
I think I don't think
Dude,
Konosuba will win though.
It's literally a parody
yeah, it
of
is.
the whole
It's a
isekai thing,
satire,
and it's
yeah.
like done hilariously. So yeah, it's gonna win purely on comedy.
I would vote there because it's my favorite, but I don't think it'll win.
Really?
I think in terms of the conversations that I've seen and everything going about it, I think it'll be Spy Family.
Really? Comedy?
Yeah, I think the average voter is not going to dissect their thought process around like, do I think of it as a comedy? Do I think of it this way? Blah, blah, blah.
Like,
they're just like, I like Spy Family. Vote Spy Family.
Spy Family.
You know
I
what I
like
mean?
Family.
I like My Hero Academia.
Brain rot.
Yeah, like that's it. And they're not going to go into like best comedy. I could be completely wrong though.
Yeah. I
Right.
see where you're coming from with that.
Right.
I'm still going with Konosuba though.
I would go with Konosuba too. I enjoy that. It's very funny. I enjoyed season 1 and 2. Very, very good anime. Now, for our final segment
Oh.
of this part,
Okay.
we have probably one of the most popular categories after anime of the year for your average weeb and otaku fan.
Okay. Hit me.
Best action anime.
Best action anime.
Yes, sir. So.
Oh God, is this gonna be the same things on the list again?
Nope. No. Because as we talked about, Free Ren's not an action anime.
Oh,
so it's not here.
I know Soul Leveling is.
So we got Bleach,
Oh.
1,000 Year Blood War, Dan.
Yep. Definitely action.
Demon Slayer, Hashira Training Arc,
Eh.
Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling, and a new one for our lists in the final category today, Windbreaker.
Isn't Windbreaker about jogging?
Are you just thinking about a windbreaker, like the jacket?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
No, I swear there was a like something wind that was about jogging. Anyways,
Like wind rise, flight rise, like
running with the
stupid
wind or
shit.
something. I don't know. I remember there's a jogging anime. I thought that was that Windbreaker.
Well, no, Windbreaker's like high action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't know about that one. I've never heard about it.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you know,
You need to
it's new
spend
to the
more
list.
time on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what's your thoughts on this?
I think best action is hard because are we looking at the best action in the anime or the best anime that is categorized as action? You know
No,
what
it's
I
gonna be
mean?
the best the action scenes in the anime.
It's the best action
definitely
scenes?
that.
Okay,
Yeah. No one's gonna think
what
that
area?
too hard about that.
A great action sequence can elevate. This is the description, by the way, for the category. A great action sequence can elevate a story to new heights and masterfully deliver thrilling moments that captivate viewers. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm assuming that I agree with you that it's like best action sequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got to be Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. Damn.
Fuck. It's got to be Solo.
Yeah.
Right? Like it
Demon
has
Slayer,
to be.
Demon Slayer had only one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's got to be Solo Leveling.
Yeah, I agree. I personally think Dan,
Yeah.
their action scenes were better because they're so creative and so like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But I think Soul Leveling will win because it's just nice to watch.
It's so visually.
I'm like, oh God,
yeah,
things are dying, things are being cut,
yeah,
explosions, sounds, lights. My caveman brain is like, yes, I like this.
You know what I'm realizing though? I'm realizing that when they say solo leveling for all of these, I think they're just talking about season 1.
What?
Well, because season 2 was it only just finished like last week, 2 weeks ago, right? Or like last month. So I don't know if they're actually counting that.
When did season 2 air? Like, was it this year? Oh shit!
Right? Like that's what I mean. Like,
Oh, we're fucked. Dude,
yeah,
it's because
like-
we watched season 2 like this year, so like it's fresh in our minds. Well, I think that the thing is, people are gonna think about that. They're gonna
yes,
think about Solo Leveling with season 2.
because season 2 was 2025.
Oh shit!
Season 2, episode 1 was January 4th, 2025. And
Well,
then it was
dude, we're
till
cooked.
March 8th.
We're cooked.
But that being said, like season 1 was still phenomenal. Like in terms of animation of the fight, like we still had the Egress fight. That was season 1.
That's all. That's the only good fight that I remember. I guess we got the tower like dogging on everybody.
Yeah, we had the Cerberus as well. The Cerberus was in
Cerberus
that
was
in
trash.
season 1.
The snake.
The snake.
Oh shit! What? The good thing is we didn't really have Soul Leveling at the top of our list for
any list. Yeah, and I think season 2 in terms of animation and fight was better than season 1.
Oh, so in terms of action scenes, okay,
So
then Dan wins.
You think Dan wins
Yeah.
because it's okay? Again, I'm just looking at this, and the poster is the poster from season 1. It doesn't say Solo Leveling season 2.
Yeah,
and I'm just thinking about it. I was like,
yeah, definitely season 1. Definitely season 1.
like when did Dan come out? Like finish airing?
Last year, definitely last year. And it only had one season, so that's the only one.
Yeah, of course. I'm just trying to think. I'm like, wow, like, yeah, October 3rd, 2024. So it's 2024, yeah.
Yeah, Dan wins for me. If it was against Soul Leveling season 2, would have lost.
Okay. Yeah. Best action. I think it'll be Windbreaker. I know you haven't seen it. I know you don't know
Have you
too
seen
much
it?
about it. I've seen it. And I think that like the action in Windbreaker was pretty fucking phenomenal. I was
heard
very
it was mid.
You didn't hear anything about Windbreaker. You thought it was about jogging. I also think that with Windbreaker, it was also just like all of the shorts and TikToks and other kind of like short form content around Windbreaker was like, this will be the best action anime in like whoever. Like the fucking scenes in it were crazy. It was hype. It was awesome. And if we're talking purely anime, purely action, I think it's up there.
Oh.
That would be where my vote would go. I think Solo Leveling will still win.
What?
And I think Solo Leveling will win because in the same reason I think One Piece will win in other ones, the fans are too crazy.
Dude, the fans are aura farming.
And don't get me wrong, I liked Solo Leveling, but action was fucking hype. I don't know if people are going to dissect it like we said, where it's like, oh, this is season 1, not season 2.
Yeah.
And I also don't think they give a shit. Because like the Egress fight was hype, 100%. We don't like the fact that there's plot armor, literally, that his hand can't undergo hand injuries to stop Egress's blade. That's fucked.
That's lame, man.
That's literal plot armor. So in that way, I can understand why we wouldn't put it up there. But also, it's like taking the reins for like the most liked episodes on Crunchyroll, the most, fucking watched episodes on Crunchyroll.
True.
Right? So I do think that it'll be out there. And I think if I had to bet, Solo Leveling will probably win.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Soul Leveling, I remember like there's another Korean manhwa that's getting animated right now. I think it's T-Bait or the beginning after the end.
Yeah.
And it just looks like shit.
Really?
It's like, man, if this got the Soul Leveling treatment, it would have been peak. But then like it's just like a slideshow.
Yeah, there's a new I think it's Chinese animation for I think To Be Hero X or something.
Ooh, I can't wait for that one.
And that one supposedly is like with Japanese voice acting, but the Chinese animation, like supposedly they're catching up and it's like phenomenal. But anyways, regardless, I think for that one, yeah, my vote would go Windbreaker, but it would probably be Solo Leveling. I think we'll take it.
Okay.
And you think Dan for both?
Dan for both, yes.
All right. Well, that was a lengthy 12 different categories.
12?
Yeah, that was.
Wait,
12
was that
categories.
all the categories?
No, that's why this is part 1. We
Damn.
got part 2 after this.
Shit.
12 more categories.
Part 1.
That was part 1. Thank you for joining us for that special. Come check us out later this week for part 2.
Hell
we
yeah.
got 12 more categories coming your way.
Dude,
lots more nominees.
All of our predictions are correct, by the way.
100%. Even when we disagree, both of us will be right.
Hell yeah.
So please let us know down below, like we said earlier, what you think, what you voted for, what you think of our stupid ass opinions. how wrong we are, and if you would change any of your votes now that you can kind of like hear another opinion and look back at what you voted. Let us know down below, and we'll catch you on part 2. Peace.
Peace.